7 years ago, I left working in corporates that created loyalty programs where I was dealing with fancy clients like Colgate, Cadbury's, Citibank. And here I was suddenly starting from scratch, from zero. I was a brand new entrepreneur. I went from wearing suits and ties to pajamas all day. It was quite the fashion transformation, I must say. I just started my coaching business and I felt kind of unsure about how to make my business grow, let alone grow, how to even get clients. Can I even make at least as much money as I used to make at my old job? I realized running a business is far from easy. It is a lot of hard work, sleepless nights, and still have an uncertain income, unlike the 9 to 5 easy days. The good part was I really wanted to make this work because if I didn't, I had to go back to my not so fulfilling job. I wanted to make a living, a thriving living, doing what I really loved doing. And to make it work, I was working so hard that my partner used to complain, "You're married to your laptop." It was starting to feel like a one sided relationship. I used to feel so heavy and guilty about it. I kept trying to figure out how to make it better. The struggle was that I was only getting one or two clients per month after a lot of physical meetings, and I was barely making enough money to support myself. And the internal fight was that I lacked clarity about how to do it all, the marketing by myself, and the confidence to talk to people as a newbie amateur coach. I was also a very shy person. I disliked being in front of the camera back then. I didn't always know what to say, when to say it, and how to say things, especially on a camera. I felt so underconfident selling my services. I used to often seek mentors, guidance, courses, and business coaching to become better in this whole business thing. One day I attended a business workshop by an influential coach, and one of the rules of the event was not to network during the breaks. He didn't want his event to turn into a networking event. So during our tea break, I went to the ladies' room, waiting in the line with other people from the workshop. We started saying hello and introducing ourselves. After I introduced myself, people around me got really interested in what I was doing. They had a lot of questions and wanted more information. So, what was supposed to be a bathroom break turned into a super cool networking zone. We talked so much that I suggested we continue outside. As I opened the door, Liana, who I just met inside the washroom, came hurriedly towards me along with her partner and blurted out, "Latika, can I get your contact details? I'd love to talk about our work and see if we can collaborate." Without missing a beat, I replied, "Of course, here's my info." Meanwhile, Mona, another workshop attendee, made her way towards the hall and we engaged in some friendly chit chat as we walked. And then she suddenly asked, "Where are you sitting?" I casually pointed out to the front row, and with a mischievous smile, she asked, "Is there a spot for me next to you?" And I grinned and said, "Let's see if we can make that happen." As the workshop continued, Mona and I exchanged hushed whispers and shared ideas. Now, by the time the next tea break rolled out, that she dropped a bombshell. I was in seventh heaven. I was so happily surprised. As I took the first sip of my tea, she said, "Latika, I'd love to work with you. How can I get started?" My heart leaped with joy and surprise at the same time. What an unexpected connection we had formed. I attracted a client where I was least expecting, maybe not expecting at all. And the very next day, I quickly sent her all the details about my coaching program and an agreement to sign. My sweat was coming down my palms and my heart was racing. And just 2 hours later, I received an email back with a signed copy of the agreement and receipt of $1,500. She was my very first special premium client. And here's the real magic. I didn't have to sell anything. All I did was tell a story, just like this one. And I repeated this process in other setups like one-to-one meetings, when selling my done for you agency services, group gatherings, one-to-one Zoom meetings, and one clients, premium clients, clients who didn't haggle for my prices, but in fact valued my premium offers. And then finally, I started using this method for even social media. I started turning all those conversations with potential clients into content for social media. Now that I was giving them what they wanted and started catching their attention, it was amazing. I was also impressed by the Netflix way of retaining my attention and tried incorporating that, the open loop method, into my content. So now I was giving them what they want in a way they would love to learn. So now I was not only catching their attention, but also retaining the attention for a longer time. As I was getting more and more attention on social media, which also led to getting more leads and eventually clients. And that's when I realized that the secret to catching and retaining their attention is with story selling or storytelling. Storytelling makes your buyers remember you. If you want your potential buyers to remember you, tell them a story that touches them emotionally. In the next video class, you will learn how to attract people using storytelling on social media. So storytelling increases the value of your offering. Stories can increase the perceived value of any product or service. That means you can charge a premium pricing without worrying about competition. More on that in the next video class. When you tell a well-crafted story, your listener's brain releases oxytocin, makes them more likely to trust you and your ideas. Scientifically speaking, human brains have been hardwired to pay attention to stories since the beginning of humanity because it meant survival. Humans are hardwired to learn, process, and retain stories more effectively than just those dry facts and data. So, communicating important messages with stories assures attraction and retention. Now, let's talk about how to use this to close deals. For that, you need attention, retention, and monetization. When your story is able to combine all these three elements, it is called story selling. So when you use social media for marketing in the current way, you may not be able to retain their attention for long. But if you use story selling, you're able to entertain them. That means meet them at their purpose of scrolling on social media and educating them with the message for action, which is a byproduct of telling stories. So you see, when you start using the storytelling on social media, you are able to attract, retain, and monetize. And that is exactly what I call as story selling. Story plus offer. Hello, effortless selling. This is effortless selling. See you in the next demo class to learn how to tell your stories live and attract clients, even if you don't have confidence.